Bill Maher says Israeli culture is basically American culture because both cherish life over death. He says the one thing he's completely certain about is Israel and that America should back Israel with zero hesitation. Maher compares Israel's situation to the Godfather, saying they're surrounded by enemies who should be dealt with. Well, it is comparable to the Godfather, but I think he got his symbolism wrong.
Always kept it real about Islam,
Well,
which is another reason why the left hates me.
See?
Because, you know, they're on the page of America, cringe, Hamas, awesome.
It's wild.
And, like, I am not there. That's the one thing that, like, I am 100% full on is the Mideast thing.
Yeah.
Like, just, first of all, just backing Israel. Like, let's not pretend that all cultures...
okay, so you're a full-throated, frothing at the mouth Islamophobe is basically what Bill Maher is saying here. Or a racist against Arabs. You consider them inferior and they deserve their subjugation, just like how the American colonizers viewed the Native Americans, which justified their ethnic cleansing. Okay. Got it.
They're different, they're the same. No, Israel is our culture. We value life. We give women full rights, stuff like that. We're going to go with the culture.
It's insane to me that we have this guy saying this as he doesn't even acknowledge the material conditions on the ground, the principal contradiction between occupied people and occupiers, you know, always on display, the double standard of the ruling class and their proponents like Bill Maher. These are just, you know, talking heads, mouthpieces for the vested, corporate-controlled class of political and economic elites. I hate to use that word, but he's just an attack dog for that class, you know? And it's really insane to me that he just tries to categorically dismiss an entire people by saying that they just wish death. They just wake up and nothing is going on. They just are prone. They have it in their DNA is basically what Bill Maher is saying, which I reject. I don't believe that you can make such statements which are rooted in racism in today's world. I mean, it's completely void of humanity, completely void of international laws, completely void of human dignity. What makes it even more incredulous and despicable is we are doing the very things that he's projecting upon our victims. We are doing those things to the Palestinians. And he's saying that they just love the things that we're doing to them.
That we recognize and we think is the right one. You do you.
You do you. We are occupying their land, Bill Maher. We have committed acts of aggression, which under international law is the supreme criminal act in all of international law. Again, imperial stooges like Bill Maher always love to conflate causes with consequences. They love to look upon the conditions that were engineered by the empire. They look upon the crimes, the criminal acts that we've committed against these people and confuse it, you know, whether it's intentional or deceptive or not, they confuse it with natural characteristics of these people. Like they just love the misery. They can't get their society together for some reason. It must be innate to them, you know. These are very racist talking points and soulless on top of that.
And then just the way he supported Israel's solving of the problem that they were slowly being surrounded by proxies of Iran. And just like Michael Corleone in the last reel of The Godfather, he took out all the enemies. They've settled all family business. Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis and then Iran itself. We're going to do this.
Oy vey. Well, I mean, what more do you need to say about Bill Maher admitting Israel are the mafioso gangsters, then saying that we should support them without hesitation? It's so funny. But yeah, exactly. Why didn't I see that? He glorified the mafia. He's like, yes.
Always kept it real about Islam.
You know, Israel is reminiscent of the gangsters in The Godfather. Remember when they just extrajudiciously murked all of their perceived adversaries? I mean, when I pejoratively analogize the United States and Israel to The Godfather, to the mafia, to mobsters, it's just a country full of gangsters. I don't mean that as a compliment. And I guess that's the difference between me and Bill Maher, because Bill Maher lionizes those kinds of metaphors. It's just crazy.
Why is all this happening? Well, I think that the Palestine cause is absolutely central. The Palestine cause, as we all know here, is based on nothing other than the destruction of the Jewish state.
The kosher Nostra. Oh my goodness.
But more than that, it is also based on stealing
The chat is winning tonight.
the Jews' own history in the land from them. But the Palestine cause has become the cause of causes in the West, which of course is in the business of destroying its own core values, which come from Judaism.
I love this brand of Zionism where they create all these conferences and they do forums and it's one big cry fest. They're just crying on stage about how they're losing the narrative. I mean, how many speeches have we seen in the past week? In the past just a couple of days, they're all saying the same thing. And you know what it tells me? It's working. We're doing good work here because we're actually educating people, and they can't lie and get away with it anymore. They don't control the media like they did in the 90s. Different social conditions now. And yeah, that's why I say the cope slopping is continuing apace, because every time we see another stooge get on stage and cry about how their favorite little apartheid state is going in the toilet precipitously.
No coincidence. In my view, the Palestine cause is a form of holy war, Islamic holy war, and it is a Trojan horse for the Islamization of the West. By adopting the language and the moral inversion.
Another common trope from Israelis. They're standing on the front lines, guarding Western civilization out there, that little oasis of Western civilization out in the Middle East. And another thing they say is, like, I think I learned this recently too, is like Israelis seem to look at Americans thinking like they just don't understand. You really don't understand, Americans, what's going on here, okay? They're guarding us, guys. We should be thanking them.
Version of the Palestine cause, the West has bought into the agenda for its own destruction at the hands of Islam. This is a death wish by the West. And if you have a death wish, you cannot fight a death cult, which is what the West is facing in the forces of Islam.
Everything about that sentence was bang on, except for the last syllable of the last word. She said Islam. She should have just said is real. But just incredible projection, right, E. Davis?
It cannot fight it because it no longer knows what it is.
Superiority co-implex.
The West no longer has the will to defend itself because it no longer knows what that means. And insofar as it ever knew what it means, it has tried to destroy it by telling itself that the West is to be hated. This has created a vacuum into which has marched the Islamists to conquer the West because the West is paralyzed.
Think about the reverse of that. I mean, just think if we were to apply that to another religion that began with J. Imagine if someone had the same rhetoric, but just replaced that one word instead of the Islam word, replaced it with the J word. Would they not be branded as an anti-Septite? Why is it okay for the same statements be made about a different religion? No one bats an eye. No one calls this person Islamophobe, like, what are you doing? But yet, every Steen Singelberg Timowitz, it's on the reverse. We know what happens, Steen. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the page to help it grow. And if you'd like to support my work, join my Patreon for exclusive content.